Depression is a rather interesting and can be quite a complex condition. And for someone who has had my own journey and experiences with depression and overcoming depression, and my whole mission being around what we can do to transform our lives, our finances, our careers, our relationships, and our health, both physical and mental, I realized two things about this thing called depression. And this, if this topic's of interest to you, while I know there's many contributing factors, you might find these two recommendations on what to do to help break the pattern of depression or help ease it. Firstly, I'm going to share a story with you about my mother, and secondly, about myself and what I've realized about what can be a big contributor to depression and what can be a nice key that opens the door to walk through to a happier, free from depression life. And the first story is my mother has not had the best health over the years, made some choices she's aware of that haven't always been in her best interest from a mental and physical health perspective. But the first thing is, out of all of this, that I've come to realize, and she may not be so quick to agree with, but retirement. Retirement, while I know I work in the finance sector and it can be a very big goal that a lot of people want to pursue, and a lot of people want to pursue it because they want to get to a point in their life where they want to do anything. They want to relax, they want to put their feet up and take it easy. And I'm not saying all people are like this when it comes to wanting to retire, but what I've seen happen with my own mother and many people around her is they get to this place of retirement where they don't work and they don't do anything, but because they don't have to do anything, and they don't need to do anything and need to be needed by other people, they lose any sense of purpose. So without purpose, there is a lack of motivation or drive or reason to get up and do things. And what happens is everything that I've seen from this experience starts to shut down. The brain starts to shut down, the body starts to shut down, the negative thoughts start to kick in because there's more time to think about that stuff, and things that don't really matter because there's a lot more time to focus on them. But most importantly from all of this, even if it feels uncomfortable, the joy that comes from doing what's uncomfortable, which is working, contributing, giving back, having goals, having things that give us fulfillment, even if they're uncomfortable. Because one of the things that I've realized is most of the joyous, really rewarding things in life live on the other side of uncomfortable. As someone said to me once, you try and do life easy and life will be very hard. But if you give life your best shot and do it hard and give it your best shot, life will be easy, right? Very often we're trying to do it easy and it ends up making it harder. But coming back to the story, not having something to look forward to, something that gives us purpose, something that we need to get up in the morning to get to, is the key to helping ease depression in retirement years, or maybe not even in retirement years, just in life, right? So having something to look forward to, a goal that's uncomfortable and challenging to achieve and to pursue. And when I talk about this too, because I've got a beautiful girl, beautiful fiance, and her parents, and not wanting to compare because everyone has a different journey, but they do have a purpose and they are getting up and they have things to do and they want to do things, and their journey is completely different, and they're a representation of how you can have a good quality of life in retirement by having things to do and having things to pursue. And Mum and I, speaking through this, got to the point where we realized that this is what was missing. She had no purpose. And as we talk through it and ask this great question, which is, I've talked about this before, the power of asking questions is, it sounds like to me that we need more purpose. So what could that purpose be? What could be something that you could get up in the morning and want to get stuck into and to pursue? And we came up with something. We came up with something that is about her future place of living and where she's going to go and what she's going to do. And it's something now that she's got some purpose. And can I tell you, listening to the change in my mother's voice from being really stark, depressed, crying, upset. And if you watch this ever, Mum, love you. I'm just sharing this to share the good transformational messages out to the world to help other people that could be in this place, to help them feel better. Because we want to have a good life, right? A better life. And very often it's just having the tools to be able to navigate ourselves to live happier, healthier, wealthier, more fulfilling lives, right? So thanks, Mum, for the lesson. So now that she's got a purpose, her voice changed. She sounded clearer. She was more hopeful. Now she's got things to do. And I know the little Darren depression is going to probably come and kick back in because it's not that easy. But now it's simple. She's got something to do. So that's that story. And she's on her way. So tip number 1, have a purpose. Even if you are working in a job and you've got a family and you're just on the treadmill, what is something that would light you up? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to build an online business? Do you want to pursue a hobby? Get that purpose to give you a bit more spark in life. The next thing is, this is for me personally, what I have found has been one of the biggest contributors to my mental health is my brain trying to take me to a feeling that it was taught as a child where, respectfully, my younger mother was doing her best, but she was very strict and very perfectionist driven and very wanted only for me to get the best grades, do the best thing, and that put a lot of pressure on me. So I then developed this thing that happens in adulthood where we might have had emotionally or physically challenging childhoods. We develop this thing in our brain where our brain's always trying to revert us back to that feeling of suffering and unsafety, lack of safety and being in danger, and giving us pains and feelings of suffering. And so in life, we start thinking about things, our brain gives us thoughts that it's just trying to do its job to create thoughts that give us feeling of danger and suffering, because that's what got wired in at a young age. So as a child, I feel unsafe, I feel less than, I feel scared. And so as an adult, it's still trying to create thoughts to give us those feelings that it's used to. So when I realized this, and I have realized this on and off for a long time, but I was recently reminded of it because if you've seen in my other videos, I made a decision last year to leave a job and pursue the building of an online affiliate business. And also while I'm doing that now, I've been pursuing other things to do to work and, make money as we all want and need to. And I was really finding that I was falling into this place of self-judgment and envy, and my brain was saying, oh, look at you, what's wrong with you? You're at this age, you should know better, you should have more, look at how good they're doing and here you are and you're in this situation, what's friggin' wrong with you? How could you be so stupid? And then I realized one day, it's like, hang on a minute, none of that is real. That's just my brain trying to get me to go to a place that was wired in once upon a time as a child, which it got used to, which is to feel in suffering, to feel in danger, and to feel bad about oneself, self-critical, the inner critic. And this is what I came up with. And it's been really helpful. Acceptance. Acceptance within, and talking to that inner voice and saying, I hear you. I hear all your stories, but whatever you say to me, whatever you're trying to do to me, to have me feel critical of myself, feel scared, to feel confused and anxious, I accept it all. I accept me. I accept me for what I've done. I accept me for what I've been through. I accept for where I'm at. And whatever you tell me to have me feeling scared about life and critical of myself, to feel upset about myself, I accept it all. I accept that this is where I'm at. This is what I've got. And for better or worse, I accept it. I accept it. I accept it. And whatever you tell me, I accept it. What others are doing, have, don't have. Because here's the thing, the brain could say, go and compare yourself to someone who's got less than you. But no, it doesn't want to do that because you would feel better. Not that we want to compare ourselves to someone who could be struggling or something. I'm not saying that, but it's amazing what it's doing to give comparisons, to create a feeling, an emotion. And from an emotion of self-criticism, that gives us feelings of danger and self-judgment, will lead eventually, if we keep going, to a place of depression, hopeless and helpless. So we want to try and stop it in its tracks and go, I accept it. Whatever you say to me, I accept. If I accept that I've got to go and do that for a job to make a bit of money while I'm doing that, and that's all that I've got in the bank, and yes, I know all this stuff, and yes, I could have more and I could be like them, but I haven't. This is where I'm at. This is what I've got. And I do have that, and that's pretty cool to be happy about. The little boy, the little Johnny, he's just sleeping here. But I hope this helps. I hope this helps. It's a very, very simple concept, I know, but if you're feeling like you're judging yourself, and I'm not saying giving up, I'm not saying to accept my plight in life and this is where I'm at and I'm just going to give up. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I accept what's happened. I accept where I'm at. And it's a really interesting experience. And if you've done this, you'll get it. And if you want to try it, when you allow yourself to accept and go, accept, you then feel freed up to then move forward. Whereas if you are whipping yourself emotionally in your mind, being critical of yourself, because that's what got wired in at a young age, you feel stuck because you're exhausting your energy. You feel like you're in danger. You feel stuck because you can't do anything because you're so overwhelmed. But when you accept and you go, I accept where I'm at. I'm here. However I got here, I did the best I could. I love myself and I accept where I'm at. And I'm just going to do the best I can to move forward imperfectly, and I'm going to move forward, but I accept where I'm at. Hope this helps. First story tip, have purpose. Doesn't have to be massive. You don't need to change the world, but something that's important to you. For my mother, she found a little new purpose, which is to move forward to actually find a new place to live where she's going to have more company because she's on her own and she's realized that she's lonely and she wants companionship and people around her. So her goal now is to go and get things prepared at home so she can start doing that. And it's a little thing now for her to focus on, and we'll take the next step and the next step. Me and my story over this side is, so purpose, have a goal, have something that feels a bit uncomfortable, feels a little bit like, oh, that's going to, because the brain hates uncomfortable. That's the other thing. The brain's always trying to conserve energy. It's trying to keep us from having to do anything that could be potentially dangerous. So it gives us all these thoughts and fears and says, oh, I can't do that. And what if it doesn't work? And mum was saying that, oh, but what about this and the dog and that? I said, we'll sort it out one thing at a time. Just get that thing going, have a little purpose, start. And she felt better. Purpose, me, my sharing, acceptance, where you're at. If you're beating yourself up and you're being critical of yourself and you want to transform how you feel into feeling freed up and able to move forward so you can go and create and do, maybe it's to go and build a new business, get a better job, do better in your job, do better in your relationship, find a new relationship, end a relationship, get your health in order, get your mental health in order, get your finances in order. How about accepting where you're at for now, here and now, and breathing and saying, I accept, and now you are freeing yourself up to create space to create and attract new. And that's what I want for you over there. You looking at me, look at her, look at you. purpose, acceptance. Hope you like my message. Really wanting to help us all move forward, navigate our lives, transform ourselves, our lives, our businesses, our careers, our finances, our relationships, our spiritual health, our mental health. It's what I want for all of us. You're wonderful. You're amazing. I believe in you. I believe in me. I believe in Johnny. I'll speak to you in my next video. Please give me a like. Tell me about your journey. What have you overcome? Did you apply the acceptance? Have a purpose? What's your purpose? I'd love to hear. And I look forward to chatting to you guys very, very soon. Have a wonderful day. Sending love.